Roy Keane, a legend, a captain and a warrior. दोस्तों हम लोग जब भी रॉय कीन के बारे में बात करते हैं, we just don't talk about a player, just another midfielder for United. We talk about the mentality monster, the embodiment of fighting spirit of Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson. Guys, he would leave everything on the pitch. He used to set a standard for both young and senior players that this is Manchester United and if you don't give your best, you'll be down and out in no time. Or guys, like a lot of people, मेरा favorite moment of Roy Keane is also that 4-2 win against Arsenal back in 2005 when we were playing against them at Highbury, Arsenal's old ground before Emirates. Scoreline was not the reason why I like this game or why this is my favorite moment. It's what actually happened before the game. Roy Keane actually fought Patrick Vieira and was defending Gary Neville because Patrick Vieira tried to rattle us in the tunnel itself by picking on the smallest guy in our team, which is Gary Neville at the moment. That's what actually Patrick Vieira said in his interview. And when Roy Keane stood up to Patrick Vieira to fight for Gary Neville, he wasn't just fighting for the team, he was fighting for the entire Manchester United fan base. That boss, we are Manchester United and we are here to win the game. And guess what? That moment spurred us on. We weren't favourites going into that match, but we came out on top. And a young Cristiano Ronaldo actually scored a couple of goals. And John O'Shea scored a beauty. If you haven't checked out the game, go check out the highlights. It's one of my favourite games of all time.
Argentine fullback. Scholes, look at this. He's got O'Shea in behind. And is this the clincher? Oh, you bet.
And this was one of the moments which showcased that Roy Keane was a leader. He would stand up for everyone, and especially for his teammates. He was going to fight the. और guys, ये बात को अब 20 साल हो चुके हैं. My favorite moment against Arsenal, that was 20 years back. And Sir Alex Ferguson को भी छोड़े हुए 12 से 13 साल हो चुके हैं. And अभी यूनाइटेड की हालत बहुत ख़राब है. We are sitting at 14th position at the time of speaking. And we've just gotten a new manager who's trying to adjust to life in England. Jo obviously English media is trying to make hard anyway. And Roy Keane recently has started criticizing Bruno Fernandes again, especially that overlap interview that Roy Keane did. And this is not the first time Roy Keane's called Bruno out. There have been multiple times in the past जहाँ पर Roy Keane ने question किया है Bruno की leadership qualities को. Is he the right man to lead United? He does not question the ability that Bruno has, but definitely ये call out किया है कि आपके leadership skills, when you say that you can actually press a player, does Bruno actually put in the effort? ये सारी चीज़ों को question किया है. And to be honest, इस बार fan base has stood up, and I've seen a lot of fan channels actually calling Roy Keane out. And I can sense a lot of anger this time around within the fan base. And rightly so. I mean, our ex-players who become pundits have not really helped their case. Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, all of these guys are always doing something or the other, either in the podcast format or giving interviews, wherein it infuriates our fan base, stating things that can be avoided. However, it hurts me when a legend like Roy Keane, who I feel is mostly fair, is called out. And I wanted to make sure that, you actually state points as to why we feel Bruno Fernandes is actually the right man right now at the club, at this moment of time where United are, is the only guy who can lead Manchester United. Since joining Manchester United back in 1920 season in this winter transfer window, Bruno has been quite literally one of the best signings that United have made since Alex Ferguson. He's been involved in 60 goals and 41 assists since he's joined, and only KDB and Mo Salah have had more assists than Bruno Fernandes since Bruno Fernandes joined Manchester United in 2020. It just, shows that how important Bruno is to us. Quite frankly, he's our best player. And to be honest, I get the argument about, sometimes your best player does not need to be your captain. Sometimes they say that that praise on your performance on the pitch. However, who else do you make the captain? Bruno is available all the time. He's literally missed only 3 games since he's joined Manchester United. Compare it to Shaw, who is probably in his 10th season, has almost played as many matches as Bruno Fernandes. Shaw has quite literally missed 5 seasons of football. Then there is the argument for Harry Maguire, whose captainship was stripped once Eric Ten Hag came in. And quite literally, I feel Harry Maguire has been playing better without the captain's armband. He's actually playing more freely. He's actually gotten some fans off his back. And to be honest, he's improved. Looks like the captain's armband has not really affected Bruno's performance. Just take the last game, for instance. He was involved in all 3 goals. He was the one who also saved us in the Everton match with that amazing free kick that he scored. That was pure brilliance from him. And to be honest, he's the one that keeps United ticking. So, to be honest, there are so many good points to say and argue that, Bruno is the right man. Also, arguments for other players who could become captains. De Ligt's name is thrown in the mix. I just feel that it's too soon in his career for him to become the captain. Also, in a recent interview, I read that De Ligt quite frankly said that if he could have come to United a little earlier in his career, he might not be able to cope with the pressure. There was also Dalot's name thrown in the mix. I really like Dalot, and I still argue that he's just having a bad season. You could definitely see that he's one of our better players last year by winning the Players' Choice of Best Players of the Year last season. And I sincerely feel that Ugarte could be a future captain, but however, again, he's quite young. And to be honest, if there's an ex-Arsenal legend sitting right next to you in your podcast who can definitely see that Bruno's the only one who makes this team click, I guess it's just time that Gary Neville and even Roy Keane just wake up and smell the coffee, guys. We are not the same Manchester United that was back in 2012, 2013 under Sir Alex Ferguson. We are not even the same Manchester United that won the Europa League under Jose Mourinho. I mean, we are in a very bad place. And frankly, जो अभी हमारे ex players हैं जो इतने बड़े social media influencers बन चुके हैं, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville, ये लोग की इतनी social media following हो चुकी है. It's time that they actually put that to good use. Like, why don't you spurn some positivity towards us? Like, if you have finally won a couple of games, then why don't you actually push that in social media? हमको थोड़ा boost करो. I'm sure if there is negative news that folks read, I'm sure the players will also read some positive news coming from ex-players. Why doesn't that happen? Why does it take an ex-Arsenal legend sitting right next to you, sitting on that podcast? Why does it take Ian Wright to tell you that you guys need to stop getting off Bruno's back?
Who brought them back into the game? Who's bringing you guys back into the game? You can't. It's not Bruno, Roy. When we're talking about somebody who can actually do something to save you lot, it's Bruno.
Guys, where is that Roy Keane that stood up for Gary Neville? Where is that Roy Keane that stood up for us? Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you stayed so far, please consider liking the video or even subscribing. And if you liked it so much, please share it with other United fans who might be reeling and might be angry with the entire Roy Keane, podcast and whatever happened. I just feel that, there has to be another perspective. I don't want to abuse, an ex-legend. I have in the past, but to be honest, when I thought about it, I kind of understand where they're coming from. However, this just looked like, another stunt, maybe to gather views or whatever. I am sure Roy Keane is not one of those folks. So I hope, they actually do something positive for the players going forward. We need all the help we can. Guys, thank you for watching once again. Please share and subscribe, and we'll keep bringing on the videos. Thank you, guys. And we'll see you guys soon.